Now, after seeing the design or the basic layout of our customer side, customer side of our website, let us see what the backend or what C sharp code is present in order to run it logically, or actually how it is getting run. And let us see what is happening. Now we'll just click view code here, and these are some of the namespaces that we are using, and libraries that we are using. Until system.web.ui.web controls, it is already, it is default, and these are the some of the libraries that we have manually added. Now system.data, then there is a furniture store with this business layer. Now because business layer is has all the strings and all the data and all the functions declared, now that is the reason we are inheriting it right here. And then we have system.web.configuration. This is system library or system namespace, and this are the all these things are system namespaces. Now let us start with our C sharp code default.aspx.cs. This is a function which is created while the page is declared. Now that is the reason the name of the function is page load, which is default. Now which contains if not is postback. Now it tells us that if the function, or if the postback function is not getting called, or if the if postback method is not getting executed, then you have to then these are some of the commands that are getting executed. And we are in order to as we have mentioned it, the get category and get products here, we have to define it somewhere. Now the definition of these functions is getting is defined right here, which has some object which is k, getting which has been declared in the shopping cart. Now this shopping cart is nothing but this shopping cart.cs, and this is the shopping cart class in business layer, and data list categories data source. This is nothing but a method to get whatever categories are present in that shopping cart, or that database. Now after, just like get category, we are declaring a function here which is get products. What it does is that it just gets all the products which are present in the database, and whatever that product, what product, whatever category that products hold, that things are present in this get products function. Now let us carry forward to see lbtn category click. This is a button which is declared here, and this which is declared. Now after this lbtn category click is declared, we are just uh, executing some statements. Now this visibility is getting false. Now my cart will not be visible after clicking of this lbtn category click. Now and the panel product will also be not visible. This panel product will be visible because now the attribute for this PNL products is true. Now after this function is called out, the PNL products dot visible will be equal to true, which means that the PNL products, or the product panel, which is this panel, if you see this product panel, this will be true. Now this will be shown to you, which means that this will be hidden at this point of time after this function is called out lbtn, and this function and this thing will be visible now. And now this category id, we are just providing some category id here, and then we are getting all the products with the use of the category id from the database. and this function gets over here, and the next function is the LBL logo. LBL logo underscore click. This LBL logo is nothing but just turning a panel from true to false, or turning that again that panel from false to true. Now all that work is been done by the LBL logo label logo click. Now after this button add to cart, this button add to cart is nothing but a button which is declared right here, add to cart. This is the button add to cart, and after you click the button add to cart, this is getting called, these functions are getting called. We are declaring a string product ID and then product quantity, and there is a data list item. All this analyzation of this data list and label is getting done in this function. Now we are using an if else here. In this if there are some statements which give you the variables, and if which give you the variable which is the check product. Now this check product is checks whether the product added to the cart from here, from whatever product is present, that product is present in the database or not. Now if that check product is equal to 0, it means that if it is false, then the query will be which will be fired is select star from product set product ID is equal to whatever product ID we had mentioned or we had entered. That thing is getting fired. Now here there are some of the things which are getting executed, or whatever product ID is there, then that will be equal to the product ID. And this is just the declaration of product ID, name, description, price, image, URL, product quantity, and stock of our products, every product. Now we are creating a session here, my cart. Now this session is important to give you the information of whatever that particular user is doing in our website. If that user is logging in our website, now that session will be equal to my cart, and that session will get executed. Now now here ends the if part. Now in the else part we'll see what happens. There is a string query which is nothing but select star from product where product ID is equal to product ID, again this product plus product ID plus. This means that whatever product ID is this products hold, and whatever product is getting selected by the user, that will be entered here. And then these are some of the information of that product. There is the ID, name, description, and all that things that will be again going to the database, and then it will be fetched from the database back to this website, or back to this web form or page here in the next part, which is the fetching part. And then we are creating a session again. Now as I told what session does earlier as well, now that is the reason. Now highlight cart products. This highlight cart products is nothing but this is the function which is used to highlight this button after it is selected, after it is clicked. Now this function is getting used. It is because whatever products are added, it should now the user should know what all products are added. Now that is the reason add to cart highlight cart product is declared here. Now we have again used a nested ifs here. In this nested ifs we are giving some statements. Now that statements are responsible for changing the style of the button from normal style to a very highlighted one, from which the user will be able to know whatever changes whatever products are getting added with the help of color change in this button. Now first the button was like this, whatever the button add to cart was like, and then after that the color added in that button will be equal to green. Now this color dot green, this what this function does is that changes the color of this add to cart to green, from which the user will be able to know that the changes some change has happened to that product. Now this BTN sugar fry click is nothing but the this button, and the function of this button, whatever things happening after you click that, now whatever things are happening is that the get my cart, this I'm sorry, after you click this BTN sugar fry, this is the BTN sugar fry. After you click this, this function gets fired or carried out, which gives you the get my cart. Now this get my cart is a function which is declared in uh, declared right here, uh, which shows you all the data or all the products which are present in the cart. That information will be given by this get my cart function, which is just like which is somewhat the same as somewhat same as this button add to cart function. And this get my cart has an if else and then again an if else, which has conditions such as the DT products, data table products, and the update total bill. Uh, Again, these are some of the functions which are used before also, but this update total bill is a new function. This update total bill function, what it does is that the total price first it will be given to you as 0, and then the total products will be also given to you as 0, and then for each of the data list item present in the data list, which are given a variable name as item in DL card products dot items. DL card products is nothing but a function declared earlier, and then label, price label. We are declaring a price label. We label as price label and giving the name to that as price label, and then we are declaring a text box which is given a name such as product quantity. And so this is what update total bill does. After this update total bill, we are again changing some properties of cards of the panels to be true or false. Now, such as my cart is now visible, and checkout is now visible. Empty cart, categories, products, and order placed successfully. All these panels are getting invisible now. And only two panels are getting visible, which are the my cart and the checkout. So that is the thing. Happening in this function. Here in the else part, it is the same. The checkout and the panels are getting true. The panels are getting visible or invisible, and nothing else is happening in this get my cart. Let us proceed further, and let us see what is happening in text product quantity. Now text product quantity is nothing but a function which is used for having a text box which has a text quantity, and then it has various data types. It has the text box, and it has hidden fields, and it has labels, and it has data list items. All this are getting declared in this function, and then we are using the actual logic as if else again, and in this if else we are first using an if, which gives you the text quantity, the quantity of the text to be 1, that is we are declaring it to be true at that point of time. And then again we are coming to the else part, which has again a nested ifs, which give you in the first nested if or the first if section, we are declaring a session my cart, which is not null. I mean, it just holds, the session holds some value. It is not null at that point. It is not totally like null. It is not happening that it is not having a value. It has some value at that point. In this if section, there is another if section which gives you which is converting the integer 32 bits ka integer to converting to the text quantity to the available stock. Now it is done because of the reason that available stock is should be changed to text quantity, and then we are using the else part, lbl available stock alert.txt. Now this gives you the alert that product buyer should not be more than the available stock. Now the whatever products are present in the database, or whatever amount of products or whatever quantity of products is present in the database, that should not uh, that should not be lesser than whatever products are getting, whatever products are being entered by the user. The user should enter only that much amount of products that are which are present, how many are there present in the stock or the database, which are declared by the administrator in the admin side. Now let us see what this button btn remove from cart does. Now let us see first where let us see where this btn remove from cart is actually there. Now this remove from cart button, as you can see here, and the logic behind this remove from cart is that if you don't want a product to buy, now if you don't want to buy a product, you can directly just click remove from cart, and the product will be removed from your cart, shopping cart, and for that to happen, you have to first give this declare this function, which is somewhat like this string. We are declaring a string product id, and then we are creating a session here, which is not equal to null, which has some value, and in that session we are declaring a data table dt, and again a data row dr, and then in that data row we are giving a product id, and then again an if section, and then that session will be called as my cart. Now that is the reason we are giving we have given in that in the if section, and then we are using this get my cart function. This get my cart function is already discussed. Let us now see another function, which is the btn place order underscore click. Now let us first see where it is present. Place order. Now this place order is present right here. This button is known as the btn place order. Now what this btn place order does is that it just takes all the entities, or all this names and phone number and email and address and total products and price, and then the payment mode. All these entities are taken, or all these attributes are, all this data is taken from the user, and then it just processes it for the further flow of the website. Let us see how it is done. Now we are again making an object k, and then there is a customer name, email, address, phone number, total products. All this is taken, and then we are making a data table dt result, which gives you the save customer details. This save customer details is nothing but a function which is declared in the shopping cart.cs. As you can see, the shopping cart.cs, there will be save customer details. Now this save customer details, what it does is that it just saves details in such as the customer name, email id, phone number, address, products, price, and method in your database, and that happens with the use of this function save customer details. And again we are making a for loop here. We are creating a for loop here for the reason that customer id, product, and id and product, however how many times the user clicks on the place order, that many times it should keep running. That is the reason we are making a for loop here. And then session dot, we are again clearing that session. Whatever session is being created, the session should be cleared. That is the reason we are using the session.clear here. And then again the get my card, as we have discussed this earlier as well. And then this is the label transaction number. Whatever transaction number is present in here, this the LBL transaction number, whatever transaction number the customer holds or the product holds, that transaction number will be displayed with the use of your transaction number is, and then this will be fetched from the database and given to you with the use of this function. And then again we are showing the visibility, we are declaring the visibility to be true or false, and in this section. And here concludes, this is the point that our project is getting concluded, and all these things are just got discussed. Thank you.